My name is Rhapsody and we unlocked Point Blank Shot, so it's time to play with that. Here, in Darkest Dungeon 2. Specifically, obviously, that's going to mean that we need Dismas in our squad. Dismas also probably needs Rogue, the Highwayman path, up close and personal. That's how the job gets done. If they're in rank 1, they'll do 25% extra damage, either of the back ranks, and they'll do lower damage, so negative 25% in rank 3, negative 50% in rank 4, and when they use Point Blank Shot, they gain a stack of Riposte. So largely, this is based around the idea of trying to get the Highwayman to pump out a ridiculous amount of damage, using Point Blank Shot at the very start of the fight to do 6 to 12 to the front target, also push them back, as well as give them a combo token. That combo token and pushing that target back does set up for the possibility of the upgrade on Slice Off doesn't actually make that relevant. Interesting. It's still relevant, however, for Paracelsus, who would be able to use that for a little bit more blight piercing. And also, just in case the front line is very, very big and chunky and tanky, I do have the ability with our Jester and Battle Ballad to move Dismas forward once again, and give them a damage token, and then get them to cast the Point Blank Shot again. We've got the Flagellant in here on the Maniac path. The Maniac path is a sacrifice of blight potency in order to get favorable, flexible positioning, debuffs, and disruption. So the Flagellant here is not representative of like a damage output as much as a flexible way to debuff the enemies and keep my own team alive. We've got the Plague Doctor here, who's going to be our primary healer with the Battlefield Medicine. Obviously, they've also got Alchemist ticked on as well, so they've got 20% less on max HP. However, they are much more likely to be able to pierce the resistances for enemies to their blight. And then finally, of course, Sarmenti the Jester, our soloist here, who has plus 20% damage, extra bleed piercing resist piercing rather, lower max HP, lower speed, but extra crit on bleed causing skills. So we have a lot of ability to project damage to every line, except for exactly line 4, and even then, except for exactly line 4 for a very specific amount of time. So the Acid Rain is still capable of hitting the back line. However, it doesn't inflict blight here. It will just weaken the target, so it'll give me the ability to try and deal with some particularly powerful backliners without necessarily killing them. With our Jester, obviously we already have the ability to project a ridiculous amount of damage to line 3 for the enemies. We can use our own Harvest, our own Slice Off, our own Razor's Wit, and the Plague Doctor can easily back that up with the Plague Grenade. Largely, I do see a problem in this squad of difficulty projecting line damage to exactly line 4. The only problem is, in terms of safety, projecting damage to line 4, there's not that much available for us right now. Which is to say, Hellion with Iron Swan, a ranged Grave Robber, just throwing daggers at the back line, and Dismas using the shot. That's about all of our access to the back line for, like, straight up DPS potential at the moment. You might notice, it's not a lot. I'm pretty comfortable with this squad. We also have one thing that I particularly like, and that is our Flagellant is going to be capable of taking stress off of other characters and allotting it on themselves, and then our Jester will have the capability of targeting the Flagellant, hopefully, with the Inspiring Tune, in order to remove all of the stress they've accumulated from their teammates. Pretty happy to be running this. Let's go in. Of course, we're going in again at Chapter 3. Let's have a very quick look at the start.
This was a beautiful place once. What a pity.
Use Noxious Blast 2 times in a single fight is something we are being asked to do by Paracelsus. I had already intended this, so you are more than welcome.
The point of no return welcomes you with open arms. You see, even your valley is not immune to the spreading stain.
Yes, I did forget that I'd unlocked some trinkets. I don't have a stained item equipped to anyone, so I'm not going to be able to increase damage ridiculously, but imagine that, plus 100% damage on a point-blank shot at the very first turn. Seems good. A serrated trap that does 1 bleed to the entire enemy party. I mean, yeah, we'll hold that. Probably on one of our faster characters. So, yep, that'll go on you, Dismas. For stimulants, adding speed as well as damage to a character. Let's put that on our Jester. And that's all we have for that at the moment. In terms of trinkets, turn start. If Bauble's in inventory, so no, not at the moment. I'm not going to trigger. And the others are stagecoach items. Fair enough. I mean, I'll throw this on Damien, who is probably most likely to end up with negatives. Oh, also, very quick thing. As for our quirks, we do have plus 20% max HP on Dismas here, which is one of the big reasons I wanted to run a riposte build with them. It feels like it's one of the good opportunities we have for that. However, they are a pacifist, so 5% of the time they are going to get stressed out by attacking. Damien behind them has Lethal Feint. On miss, gains a crit token. And then they are also a Needler, giving them negative relationships. There's a 20% extra chance for the Jester to become Resolute. I really wish I knew what the base chance of Resolute was so that I could actually compare this to anything. Because, like, you know, if this takes 80% to 100%, it's ridiculous. If it takes 0% to 20%, it's ridiculous. If it takes 10% to 30%, it's fine. Strangely. A little bit of a bell curve in terms of its value for me there. Off guard as well, so they will be acting at the end of the first round. We're going to be looking to get rid of off guard as quickly as we possibly can, because it's going to really screw with our ability to bleed targets before they act in the first turn. And then finally Paracelsus, who is a Cosmic Slayer, and they are otherwise lazy. I'm going to start naming the characters after folks from the Fourth Wall over on the Republic Patron relatively soon. They have not yet done for this campaign, but perhaps next will be the Bon Voyage of that. I mean, I just want to trust that I'm going to be able to kill the Lost Soul immediately in the front line, but I can't. So I punish it. Also worth noting, yeah, we get hit by the Filthy Morsel.
Slow suffering begins.
It's also worth noting that punish is changed for the Flagellant here, and that is, it is lower blight, however, it gives knockback to the target, and on the upgrade, it will give a combo target to the target. Pretty cool. Time to fire the inaugural point-blank shot.
The results are encouraging.
The results are encouraging. Early results are encouraging, even. Well said, Wayne. I'm going to use Battle Ballad to push our point-blank shooter back forwards, and then 19. I mean, I don't want to get all. What? Greater Wolf's Blood. It's an indelible trinket this early on. +6, straight up to speed, no downside.
Push on to the inn. Rest and resupply await you.
Guaranteeing that Dismas acts as early as possible in every fight, to me, sounds wild. It'd also be good on Paracelsus after that. I do imagine that after I get a stained item, I'm gonna want to give the stained combo over to Dismas. Oh boy.
Rest now for a time.
I haven't got stress on any targets, but I do want to make relationships better. Something between, like, the Highwayman and someone else seems like it might be a particularly nice kind of pickup for us to make here.
Of mastery.
Now, point-blank shot is, I was about to say, is only going to increase its damage, but it increases the bottom end of its damage by 4 points. So it guarantees that it will be pretty damn impactful. Let's have a look at a couple of our other options. So Damien upgrading the Acid Rain gives a 33% chance to project a combo token to the backline. Pretty unlikely I end up upgrading that over the course of this. Lash's gift rather. This is no longer the big self-heal that gives a token, positive tokens rather, to the target that you target. It instead steals away all of their negative tokens and puts it on the Flagellant. Punish for the extra knockback and combo. Honestly, the fact that Punish, probably the most common move we'll end up using on the Flagellant, gives combo by default here, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. Samenti. Inspiring Tune. Can probably wait until the second in to upgrade at the absolute least. Battle Ballad. So the upgraded Battle Ballad, which I'm using to try and get my point blank shot loaded again, is forward 1 and damage token versus the upgrade forward 1 damage token, a 15% chance for a crit token, and remove combo on the target. Honestly, I think that's a base level bop. Like, we don't need to change that, I don't think. Slice off, Echoing Wit, Harvest. I feel like point blank shot is a definite. Duelist Advance? I don't want to give 2 upgrades to the same character because I'd really rather, go through a round of actions and use 2 upgraded moves rather than use 1 upgraded move by choosing it over another upgraded move. Yes, right, of course, our final, Paracelsus. Honestly, Paracelsus increasing the value of Noxious Blast. So oftentimes, if the very, very frontline target is very big, I'd be able to try and set up a combo target on them as well as possibly push them back, possibly fail pushing them back, but regardless, they'll still be in position to be hit with a Noxious Blast, which has extra piercing resistance when the target has combo on them. So I'd be making 2 damage upgrades. I'm definitely doing the point blank shot. A little part of me wants to upgrade Fester, because I'd hate for there to be corpses in the front line, and that limits my ability to really manage point blank shot effectively. I think Fester is already valuable without the upgrade here. I don't think it needs the extra blight in order to be good. I will say, however, increasing the heal on Deathless seems pretty impactful here because I don't have the ability to defend any of my, usual targets on the board. I don't have like a Man-at-Arms or anything like that. Originally, I did consider taking a Man-at-Arms over the Flagellant here, before I decided that ultimately the Man-at-Arms wasn't really performing what I wanted out of them here, and that instead I was going to need a little bit more access to damage and a little bit more access to heal. Have a look at the weight, right?
Planning and mindfulness, as vital to survival as sharpened steel.
An Almanac in the Sprawl, deal 15% extra damage, as well as the Alembic and Retort. Medical gear that before each location has a chance to produce concoction or powder items. Gotta go to the Provisioner and pick up a Wolf Cub.
For wealth no longer has meaning. If indeed it ever did.
That's the only pet for me, thank you much, Lee. Extra inventory slots, no. Extra traveling heal, no. Strange Sapper, or the Distant Cape. I don't really love these as much, but I guess we don't necessarily miss that much either. I'm debating the possibility of getting some value out of buying a bunch of Glimmers of Hope, right? Well, actually, hang on. Let's have a look at our routes
Consider
first.
your position and plan accordingly.
Wait, hang on. Like, sure, yeah, you're not going to be blighting the target that's holding this, but it doesn't really... A lot of fights that won't be effective, whereas, +6 speed is effective in almost every fight, I'd have to keep the light high. Extra academics, studies, and caches. Those are so valuable as ways to pick up cultist trinkets. Ah. Avoid the field hospital, extra assistance in counter location scouting, and extra assistance encounters. Assistance encounters tend to be quite poor in terms of the rewards, the value that they provide to us. I almost want to go to the sprawl for the modifier at the top rather than anything else. I don't really want to encounter a hoarder as much though, but I can keep that torch high. Let's have a quick look at our squad. Which of you has the worst blight resist? Soloist. That'd make sense. You don't have particularly high HP either. I could actually see that being quite valuable on you. Okay. We're gonna be going to the sprawl. And
Another nameless city. Another inferno of mutilation and
wait a second.
madness.
Let's add an additional consideration into this, and that is, do I want to do the lair? Right? A big objective that I could take down in either of these areas. I know I have to do it at least once over the course of the run. If I wanted to take out the lair, the sprawl feels like a poor choice for us. Because the highwayman would be doing nothing for the start of the fight. Well, the highwayman doesn't have to do nothing for the start of the fight. I would have the ability to just, you know, change their abilities up a little bit. They can stand in line 3. I think they can still project damage to line 3 from line 1. Not with Wicked Slice, not with Open Vein, and not with any of their other abilities. Okay, so they can't do that. They would project damage to line 2 very effectively. And then, you know, point blank shot very effectively near the end of the fight. Some reasonable attempts to consistently bleed the target. I worry that most of our damage strategy for taking out the librarian is based around DOTs, and that if I don't end up like buying a bunch of toxic Ickers, and then the enemy doesn't dodge, because they have dodge tokens in that fight as well, the toxic Ickers, I wouldn't otherwise be able to really hit them with any of my DOTs. I do have resistance piercing on both of my targets though. Maybe I'm over worried. Ceremonial drum, and there's 2 of them, and they both give move resist until the next in. Ooh, uh-oh. That would be a particularly good way to try and encounter the Leviathan. Not only would point blank shot be, you know, pretty big damage to the Leviathan, we would have the extra move resist on both of our front members, so 70 on both the Flagellant and Maniac. Sorry, the Flagellant and Maniac. Both Damien and Dismas. How well do I deal with any of our members of the party being stolen in that fight? Honestly, actually quite well. Am I about to plan to go for that immediately? Is that seriously what I'm about to do? Because if it is, I already know how I do it, right? I buy both of the ceremonial drums. That absolutely has to happen. We buy... probably bandages at the absolute... I should probably buy the bandages regardless. Oh, man.
The shrouded coast, isolated, and drowning in amphibious degeneracy.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I don't love making huge swings like this, but I feel this is necessary. Because I can't really imagine this squad doing exceptionally well against the dreaming general either. If baubles in your inventory are high enough, remove a negative token. I'm gonna quickly just drop that on Dismas as well, just to try and avoid, you know, stuns and things like that, if possible. Anything else I need to alter at this point? Anything I would need to change for the upcoming fight, possibly? No. No. One of you has an open combat slot. Yeah, you do. Okay, for that final combat slot, I'm going to buy a stack of 4 torches and just pop them in there. Let's head out to the Shroud. Ended up electing not to use the whiskey to try and form better relationships here. Because best case scenario, it ended up taking them up to 12, which still isn't very likely to get a positive relationship at all.
Propriety floats listless on the tide, brined in noxious degradation.
An oasis. Interesting. Unfortunately, it gives loathing. So, I want to go to the Hero Shrine because there are, you know, I'm gonna say it every time until there aren't any things for me to unlock from it because it feels compulsory. I think part of what I feel in thinking about Hero Shrines and this game is that it is a central conflict that exists in, I guess, Darkest Dungeon as a ludic experience large, which is to say that the idea that heroes might have abilities that are fundamental to the way in which you need to play them, but they are locked behind shrines that you need to encounter over the course of runs, to me, feels like, okay, you're just gonna have to lose some runs, right? You're gonna have to spend a couple of your runs getting as many hero shrines as possible and struggle with not having the resources or access to abilities that you would otherwise want to have up until that point. But Darkest Dungeon is specifically about losing and struggling through and making your way with what you have. I should appreciate these shrines more than I do. Oh, hang on. Oh, medicinal herbs for removing debuffs, DOTs rather, from targets. I mean, what do I think I'm gonna do here? Shoot him in the face with 15 damage. Oh, and then crit another target immediately. 2 combo tokens on him. Unfortunately, this Hatchetman's gonna act before Sarmenti. So, if I want to try and guarantee anything, I should probably just slap that unit out of existence. And for Sarmenti to have anything useful that they're actually capable of doing, I will leave that midline target available. Get sliced off. Excellent. Pop a duelist advance to get you back to the front of the party. Oh, you get shot and you respond. You might be dazed, but I think you're still capable of activating your other tokens. Wee bit of punishment there. Play grenade for the back line, which I believe, yep, confirms that kill already. So now we're very much in the region of see if I can get any stress relief by killing corpses. Cancer prevention. Anyone better friends with Paracelsus?
Confers advantage.
Dang. Everyone rolls out with a tiny amount of stress here. Should not be much of a problem for us. Hello, Hero Shrine. Now I've got to decide who goes there.
Who will face the half-remembered horrors of their past?
So Dismas, Flagellant. Actually, I think it's probably Flagellant. Let all run red.
Chapter 2. In service of the divine. Drawn to the somber depths of the Church's oubliettes, he pledged his life to the clergy. There he inflicted death by slow, delicious degrees. Each crack of the lash an honor, a gift, a morbid sacrament. But his zeal proved too ardent, his brethren too timid. They cast him out, rendered him once more onto the streets.
Imagine being so good at whipping yourself that you get kicked out of your cult. +1 mastery here, and more! Cooldown 1, self when damaged, a token I've never seen before, and then taunt 2. Let's, heal 10% at the end of the next turn. It's a pain token. I'm gonna drop Acid Rain for more for a little bit here. I want to play around with it. I want to see what it can get done.
Stumbling and grasping, shadows of what they once were.
Sign them up to the pharmaceutical benefit scheme right there. Gotta play grenade when they've got a lost soul. It looks like it's about to crit.
Measured and steady.
Unfortunately, more will work here, but it won't really give us anything in return. I'm going to Fester in order to try and hit Blight on these targets. One of them resists, one of them does not. The corpse dies regardless. Ooh. That character was already dead before they next got to act, but I guess this helps too. Don't love that disguised urchin back there. If I crit, I do 7... Theoretically, there's a 15% chance this kills the urchin before they act. Dang. Wait, I don't think that was enough, right? Oh, no, it was! So we only had to do max damage as well as hit the bleed. And then that was enough. Oh, so glad to prevent that crit. That was going to be a lot of stress. And now it isn't. Get back there. Classic Ounce of Prevention just in case.
Collaboration confers advantage.
I love how everyone has exactly 1 point of stress at all
Abandoned
times.
or forgotten.
That's not
It is ours now.
distress, that's eustress. That's positive, it's helping us along. Does anyone movement resist real garbage? I guess both of our backliners. I have slightly worse move resist, but better stress and debuff, death blow resist rather. You can appreciate that more. I think we're on a straight line to the Oasis. Really didn't want to go to an Oasis. Oh, no, we're not. We can duck out. Ooh, hospital. We could get rid of off guard pretty early here. There's the lair. The region goal is avoid the field hospital, however. But if I go to the field hospital, there's literally 2 hero shrines immediately after. Ah, but we don't get to go to the lab. We do that. Dang. All right. Sure. I'm gonna go forward to the cache.
An elementary problem, is it not? The Wainwright awaits, eager to ply his trade.
Ooh, a stagecoach item that can make flapjacks. That sounds pretty good. Some more stimulants and medicinal herbs. There's also a clasp knife for extra bleeding resist piercing, which I will put immediately on Sarmenti.
A simple choice. At least it should be.
I think I should go to the resistance encounter. It gives me a loathing, but it also gives me the ability to clear a loathing. Also a very, very broad variety of useful things that it could possibly award to us. Damien tells Sarmenti that I sense you are meant for glory. Appropriate compliment.
On to the next.
You know, this party really reminds me of a party that the Jester also used to be in. And that is the party that would just open with a finale, immediately killing a member and then moving the Jester to the back. However, of course, one of the big reasons that this is in Darkest Dungeon 1, you wanted the Jester to open with finale is because it could hit up to line 3 and just immediately kill them. This is a little bit more limited in only hitting line 1, but I'm comfortable with it nonetheless. I think I should probably start working on the Woodsman here. Nice crit. Oh, I would love to force the enemy to have to attack Damien. Oh, but I can Fester so effectively right now. Yeah, I'm gonna Fester effectively here. One of the big reasons I wanted to do the Fester like that, oh, fell the tree, only did 6 damage though, is because it's now set up the ability to use Harvest hitting the Urchin and Woodsman.
Lethality writ large.
That's about as well as I could have done in trying to prevent the Urchin from getting a move. If I used... no, I can't. I can't prevent it anymore. Oh well. Ooh, or can I remove it? I use a tracking shot on the Urchin to remove their... I love it. We remove their stealth, and then we set up the ability to Plague Grenade that target, and now I don't have to worry about their crit ability. And then, just for a little more suit, in the pot. Let's get a taunt on our Flagellant to try and make sure that the enemy is not capable of really harming any target that is not prepared to take it. Straight through their death blue resist.
Abandoned or forgotten, it is ours now.
Got a little bit of stress in our body at this point. I do have Inspiring Tune still here. Okay. Maybe I should tag on Endure. Lash's gift is the ability to heal oneself on our Flagellant. I think Paracelsus should handle the healing of our Flagellant. Alright. Because now we would have the ability to clean up a lot of characters' stress at the same time. I'd quite like to see that.
Desperate to survive the rising tides, the fisher folk of the coastal provinces resorted to a debased worship of the sea.
Samenti says how fragile they appear before our solidarity. The enemies are being vulnerable or becoming vulnerable at the start of this fight. And we certainly aren't. Wharf Rat does get the second turn, and I do have a possibility of straight up killing it. I wouldn't even have to move Dismas from the front line. It's not what I'm going to do, but it was a possibility. Oh, get hit! Let's use Fester to clear out this corpse, as well as get the DOTs DOTing. Coral Grief is a hell of a lot of stress for our party. A debone from the enemy's backline hits our stunned Samenti. Yeah, Captain needs to die very quickly. Hit him with a Noxious Blast. We get Flensed right in the Dismas. Unfortunately, no one has enough stress on them to have an Inspiring Tune played. Oh my god, 11 damage on their backliner from that ridiculous crit. If I Duelist advance and target the Fishmonger, I believe they will never get another action. Slice off the Capitano, who will also now die. Let's endure, take some stress off of Dismas, and pop it onto this bad boy. Oh, he's gaining even more stress himself. That's rude, you shouldn't do that. Okay, yeah, everyone dies on their next action. So I just hope I get a lot of actions before the Wharf Rat in the next round. Never mind, I get exactly one action before the Wharf Rat next round. So I'm going to use it for a point blank shot. See if I can get any stress recovery. Didn't manage to. That's okay.
Sweet reprieve. Until the next test is put before you.
I really thought it was possible we were going to get more than that. Use Noxious Blast 2 times in a single fight. Great, we've done that. Oh man, everyone wants to go to Hero's Shrine. But then I can't go to the lair. I'm going to the assistance encounter. Damien's still getting positive relationship triggers with other people despite being super stressed out. I wonder if that's like the Flatulent is more comfortable carrying the stress, has a different limitation for when negative occurrences start happening consistently on their behalf. It's a bleak world, poor blighters. We can give them 5 light in order to get a decent amount of material. We can take 30 light as well as some combat. I'm gonna take some enties here. We don't need to fix our wagon, so Paracelsus wouldn't make any sense.
Wealth is worthless without purpose.
Legitimately true. Don't end up at the bottom of the ocean, do you? Lair! Ahead! We get some loathing on the way. I wonder if Damien can get toxic right now. Before we even get in the next fight. I also wonder if it's possible that the right move would be to let that happen. There's 3 rounds of the lair before the actual boss fight, though. Just taking a second there quickly to try and make sure that we didn't have anything I really needed to worry about as much. That is to say, there was no reskilling or anything I had to do there. I don't believe there was.
The Church of the Change.
Oh wow.
An inglorious heap of rotting timbers.
Okay. I mean, you managed to move Dismas back, but thankfully Dismas is more than comfy being moved. They don't want to stay in the back line for sure, but other than that, comfortable. Oh no. Wait. Yeah, that put me exactly out of position to use the Inspiring Tune, unfortunately. And that's especially difficult because Harvest is such a high value ability here that I can't afford not to use it. Just guarantees both of those kills. I'm wondering if I should make Damien Toxify now. Take some stress off of other characters. I'm going to elect not to right now.
Let us hope to finish this quickly.
Well, thank you for heave-hoing me backwards so that I actually have the ability to use the slice off to take a target off the field.
Taught is a lesson learned.
Yeah. Unfortunately, random stress has just appeared. I'd love if I could move the Jester back before their turn. Unfortunately, I can't. Thankfully, it does reload the fight here rather than a creature den, which doesn't do that. Obviously got a PBS this bad boy. 24 big crits. Hey, and you managed to de-stress a very important target there. Oh. Not ready for this guaranteed flens. Yeah, at least gets a DOT on a target as well as removes
Agony by accumulation.
that token. Trying to knock that target back doesn't seem appropriate at this point.
Analysis is the natural prelude to action.
Legitimately, I don't know what happens when that guy's in the back line. Brine buckets. Interesting. So when they're in the back line, Brine Bucket is the only move they can use. They can't target our back line with it. It does some damage and inflicts the you get barnacles when moving token. Finally, I can play an inspiring tune! Woo! Less stress. Actually, maybe we don't become toxic, maybe. Dismas, you definitely need to duelist advance.
What can we learn upon closer inspection?
I just want to guarantee removal of the sudden crit development unit. This also gives me the ability to roll a Festa. Trying to provide some DOTs to units here. Spawning ground. The enemy has become a newborn mutation. Big ol' slice off on the Docker. Ooh, we resist that movement as well. Lovely to see that. I do need to get this big block token off of the frontliner, but I feel like I'm going to be doing that with Paracelsus. Let's move Docker to the ground. Oh! Big crit in response as well. No more stress reduction though, unfortunately. Let's heal up the Jester, who could otherwise have some difficulties here soon. Okay. Get one more inspiring tune out against our party before it is time for the kill.
A righteous action.
Extra bleed resist, extra movement resist. Extra crit, increases stack of combat items, bunch of healing salves. Alright, let's do it.
They must be made to see that their monstrous god is mortal.
Seems good. Seems good. Opens with a huge amount of damage there for us. More. Force the target to hit me. Use a Glimmer of Hope here to get the torch very, very high. I do want to start dropping DOTs on this enemy. Could also take some stress off of someone, so if someone does go wild, it's going to be Damien. Noxious Blast. The Guaranteed Blight. The Leviathan's baleful gaze rests upon you. Oh wow, the Flagellant's gonna get mad if I don't give him the stimulants. You want to act fast. You want to do damage, but you don't really do damage. Your heart cowers from me. I see the truth. I mean, it feels like if I have to play an inspiring tune for anyone at the moment, it's you. But I almost wonder if, like, not taking you away from... I almost wonder if not removing your ability to toxify in this fight is far better. Also, like, the Jester is a huge amount of the damage that I'm actually able to put out here. Okay, they've got the hand out now, and the hand does have the ability to undertow. However, I have 70% movement resist on both of our frontliners. I need to get the Leviathan's hand down. 5 to 8, we did 5.
Hold fast.
Wow. Unfortunately, Damien will now toxify. Stands on the precipice. His immortal heart. I mean, ounce of prevention is lovely, but... is it better than poison or blight? Battlefield medicine. I do need to heal our Flagellant as well. Flagellant, can you... okay, from our back line, you're capable of using Fester, not relevant. Deathless, not relevant. More, not relevant. Endure, kind of relevant, but not as much either. I wonder almost if... No, we just let the Flagellant use their turn moving forward 2 spaces next. They crit us, but they got crit back in return. The Leviathan's hand definitely needs to take more damage at this point. Having it die to a DOT at the start of the next turn would be pretty ideal. Managed to get a combo token on 2 of our targets there. Love to see that. Damien moves forward. Oh gosh. I legitimately thought Damien was going to move forward and then immediately disappear. Oh man, this undertow has worked out so well. There goes the hand. No more funny hand business from you, buddy. 20% damage to self in order to heal a target. I mean, yeah, the Jester does need that. Paracelsus, bandage yourself up because you need to provide battlefield medicine to another target on the field.
Savor it.
Slice off is a lot of damage over the course of the time that it actually gets to activate. Especially if it had a crit.
A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
Thankfully, Dismas removes their blind token at the start of their turn, courtesy of the baubles they have. Just riposting this guy constantly is wild. 3 stacks of riposts, probably all gonna get used. There's one. It feels like I just have an extra attacker on the board basically all of the time, courtesy of those riposts. Don't have the ability to roll Deathless again yet, unfortunately. But I will roll more force attacks directly to our Flagellant. I'm gonna pop some stimulants on our Highwayman as well. Give him as much access to a giant point-blank shot as is possible. Pop a slice off on the Leviathan again. absolutely going to need to throw that eel out there. Deep Rising brings up a hand, which I don't think gets to act immediately. It has to wait until the start of the next turn. Tries to go for the undertow. Fails. That's so impactful. PBS. Doesn't actually manage to take down the hand. Nor does a riposte following up after. You kidding me? The hand's gonna get to attack again!
Greatest test of all.
Dismas's resolve is tested and they melt down. If I lose Dismas in this fight, it's gonna be kind of funny, but in the bad way. Paracelsus also melts down now. Our party hate one another. I could have sworn that... Can you not target the front line with batter?
And upon closer inspection.
No, the enemy can target the front line with batter. So, taunt. Enemies are forced to attack this target if able. Just didn't work, I guess. The Leviathan does have Deathblow resist. Yeah, Samantha, you need to move as far backward as you can. Undertow again fails to take one of our targets off the board.
The enemy weakens and
Cool.
wins.
By managing to bleed that Leviathan's hand, I set up an ability to have it die at the start of its turn. Yeah, big problem here is I can't really prevent the possible death blow on Samenti here. I can try and make DOTs less likely to connect. The enemy is now on death's door. However, they can just target the entire party and kill my leper.
We will see them again. I am sure of it.
I gotta say, the leper is one of the members of this team that is probably most replaceable. The rest of them feel pretty essential for what I'm trying to do.
The loathing abates.
Damien, you have more bleed movement resistance, please. Increase stacking for combat. Cool, cool, cool. Also, man, I would have loved to have healing salve for that last fight, but I didn't. There's some more stimulants as well. I'll get rid of the Minor Gilded Mind. Realistically, that's all I need to get rid of at the moment. Let's give Paracelsus full stacking. And that's probably about it. Paracelsus, you have Incision. Do you maybe, I don't know, want to pick up Clasp Knife? Alright. That's about all I can do at the moment. Let's trudge on. Smallpox, negative 20 max HP, negative 20% max HP rather, as well as at round start, chance to move, as well as at round start, chance to be dazed until the end of the round, where you act. Pretty awful disease for Dismas to pick up. We did manage to take the Leviathan down, obviously it costs some Menti, but hopefully I can continue making it through the rest of these fights. We'll see. Got some enemies from the public broadcaster service here. Damien, how's your relationship with everyone? Awful? Everyone hates you? Cool. Please attack him. Ooh, I keep resisting their bleeds, and it's healing me a bunch.
Steady yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense not to roll Battlefield Medicine basically every single time it's available
But a
here.
welcome one, nonetheless.
As much as I would love to be dealing damage to their backline, I need to live for that to be relevant. Wait, how did I just resist moving myself? And target knockback. Did I have a chance to bleed when striking that enemy? Weird. Love whatever happened. No clue what it was, though. Oh, boy. Oh, he's so toxic. Unfortunately, loses so much health after that as well.
Perhaps
Oi!
they have given their last.
Hold up, buds. That's just rude as hell. I absolutely have to make them deathless.
Need not be a lonely one.
I'd love to throw a plague grenade. So well. I'm gonna use Take Aim in order to give myself a dodging token here. I think preventing them from getting an action is going to be significantly more impactful in terms of healing on board. Cool. Take some stress off of Paracelsus. We'll watch both of the enemies collapse ahead of us. Thankfully, our wagon is still in really good
Unpleasant in the
nick
extreme.
condition.
This work is noble and necessary.
Dismas, you can definitely give up some speed for some extra damage, considering all the extra speed you already have. Dismas, you also are now a hypochondriac. Interesting. Only 7 more leagues until the end. Unfortunately, this does tell me that our next encounter is going to be pretty brutal. Damien, I don't think I need torches right now. I think I need healing salve combat items. And I think the same might also be true for Dismas. Because if we manage to make it to the next inn, we could actually legitimately bring this party back. It kind of depends who they give me. I mean, they're more likely to kill Paracelsus. I'm gonna do a self-heal with the healing salve and then use Deathless to heal up Dismas. Slightly better relationship betwixt you two. Crit tokens are terrifying. I'm gonna use Bandage proactively here to prevent that bleed. I mean, I would love to roll a Plague Grenade against the back line, start taking out their Altar and Cherub, but I almost feel like I'm significantly better positioned to try and take out the Evangelists first. Ounce of Prevention also seems like it'd be pretty good, if it prevents any DOTs. Yeah, I can't just have 2 units on the board that are constantly throwing out ridiculous damage. Oh, the enemy has Taunt on them. Oh, at round start they have the possibility to get that. Neat. Yeah. That was always going to be a bit of a problem for us. Another bandage, another bleed. Confirm that unit getting on death's door. Never mind. They got whoa, they got warded for taking less damage. Never mind. It will still work.
A small foundation of trust.
Let's see if we can push this target back. Oh, unfortunately, they did resist the movement. I really wish they hadn't. And they've got Taunt on them as well. Unfortunately, I do 7 damage. I could have done 7 to 9 if I did 8. So anything except for 7, that target would be on the ground before the start of their turn and die to their death blow resistance. This way, they'll still get an ability to take a turn. I don't really have a great way of preventing that right now, so I feel like it's probably high time I start blighting up the next target.
And wanes.
Yeah, again, that's what a crit token will do for you.
Malaise. Measured.
Okay.
And steady.
Blood Commune and you get killed by a critical riposte.
Entrance.
I can only possibly put the Evangelist down on the ground with a default attack, which it does. Grand. The Sightless Miasma for even more stress and horror. Oh, regen for 10 and Blight for 8. Which one of those will trigger first? We'll get our Flagellant to try and save Dismas, and then Paracelsus to save the Flagellant from the saving they just did. Unfortunately, it looks like they revive off of Death's Door before triggering the possible Death Blow trigger. Yeah, because they healed for 10 and then took the 8 damage. Yeah, don't love that ordering, to be honest. Okay, the Wicked Slice actually has a chance to possibly put the enemy down on the ground. I really wish I had.
This wound, at least, has been tended to.
There we go.
Steady yourself.
Wait, again? Ah! Finally, we've got that unit down. Death blow dealt. all of the stress that we have to take for doing it, though. One more battlefield medicine, I suddenly feel a lot more comfortable. You know, everyone already hates the Flagellant. What if I just spent the rest of the time taking stress away from other people?
A simple kindness. The slow suffering begins.
That unit has taunt.
A small reprieve from this carousel of horrors.
Freak out! Yes, yes, yes. No one likes you. We're all aware.
Bravo!
Solid crit, Paracelsus. Let us take aim. Not that I believe we're likely to be targeted, unfortunately. Oh man, giant regen on that character that also has huge block tokens. I don't like that. Huge block tokens and taunt tokens constantly. Dismas, why did you have to move backwards manually? You were so ready. I mean, look, hey, if you're gonna force me to blind him,
The fiend's strength
I'll do it.
dwindles.
Every time. Let's take some more stress away. Okay, so that was heal applied before the blight. And when heal's applied before the blight, heal activates first. When the blight is applied before the heal activates first. Both conditions.
Lethality writ large.
Useful. Definitely time to keep enduring as much as you can, buddy. Let's have Dismas just take aim. Possibility of immediately enacting a crit at the start of the next round. And in doing so, possible stress recovery?
One less
Ah,
obstacle
dang.
in our path.
Hey, we actually did manage to make it. Oh, what? Extra healing given. That's not... I don't know about that, Buster. 100% extra damage on turn 1 was nice, though. Paracelsus on hit. You apply vulnerability 15% of the time. We also need people to hold additional item equipable stuff. Combat items, that is. Use those additional slots while we have them. In the face of horror, deliverance, says Damien, whom everyone hates. Alright. Who do we get? Who do we get? Who do they give us?
The fire is lit. The table
Boudica.
is set. The inn awaits its favorite guests.
Boudica. So, it's a Hellion, but who? Damien has gained a Sleuth Tactician perk. Paracelsus is also a coward now. Sarmenti has gained Algal Bloom. Yeah, don't worry, that doesn't matter. Paracelsus has gained a Bum Leg, has negative 40% of movement resistance, and Boudica has a Torn Rotator Cuff, negative 10% of damage. You are here as a damaged member of the team. What are you doing? No time to bleed. I mean, you're a Theta Tactician, you're a Tippler. Oh boy, you're a Tippler. You know, Damien and Dismas have a chug together. So what's our party now? Like, Dismas in front of Boudica, in front of Damien, in front of Paracelsus. So Damien is our third liner now? I mean, Punishment is comfortably available from... All of these moves save more are comfortably available from there. The ability to heal oneself, as well as steal away the negative tokens. Yeah, I mean, I could totally run this. Movement and bleed resist, though. Remove a negative token. I wonder if Winded counts as a negative token for the sake of that. It is blue, which is the color of negative tokens in this game. No, special. It's light blue, so it's special. It's not a debuff. Oh, but it's still a negative token. Does it count? Ugh. I don't think so. You should probably wear the sodden sweater. Let's go over to the Wainwright.
Planning and mindfulness, as vital to survival as sharpened steel.
The Sprawl, the Theta. So the only thing I know from having looked at that is we're not Oh, we are got a possible Sprawl. I was about to say we're not going to the Tangle and remove the book. Alas. Extra traveling heal, neat.
Learn what can be taught, that you may stand just a little taller at the end.
I do really want to continue trying to rectify relationships in this party.
Something to ease the rigors of the road.
Paracelsus and Damien have the worst possible relationship with one another. They hate each other's guts. Did you get a second from that? Extra 10% max HP. Oh, and robust. Boudica. Oh, actually, hang on. Our combat items now stack higher, courtesy of what we just picked up. Boudica, you hold that. Bleed out. Bleed out. Bleed out. Yeah, no, I'm not extremely unlikely to try and roll this after like a PBS kind of setup. Toe to toe, move forward. Seldom want you to move forward directly. The Yorp upgrade. So the Yorp upgrade here is stun if the target is comboed. So after they've survived a point blank shot, and give a double weak token to both of the enemy frontliners. That's so cool. I'm gonna get Blood Loss active. I almost want Bleed Out as well. Speaking of bleeding out, Paracelsus, you don't need to hold the clasp knife. Boudica does. Much less likely for you to be bled. If you resist a bleed, you're gonna get healed. Unfortunately, you're a wanderer. I really wish that I could change the path here. Alas, we cannot. Everyone's gonna hate one another. I wonder if that's gonna clear everyone's, antipathy towards one another eventually. As in, like, if they form a negative relationship with one another, do they then start moving back to default? Because, like, we've got a 100% chance to get a negative relationship with Paracelsus here. Oh, boy.
Everywhere in ruin. Everywhere in need.
The pot and still, chance to produce whiskey items increases whiskey per stack. Also, a moment's peace, we want to go to the Oasis and extra safe routes. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be going to the Sprawl here. What else did I find particularly useful? So, more plus only changes its token from pain to pain plus. Yeah, heal at the end of the next turn, whatever. Endure for more stress management in the party does seem pretty good, actually. That ended up becoming pretty important, I feel. So if Paracelsus is going to be running the very back line, you're no longer going to run Incision, perhaps. We could consider giving you Blinding Gas, maybe? And if we gave you Blinding Gas, I only really care about it upgraded. Blinding the enemy backliner as well as dazing them. God, there's a lot to consider here. Boudica, if it bleeds, is often going to be your ability. That and... oh, Wicked Hack! Oh, Wicked Hack is so good after a PBS! In case the target's big and needs to die. Has to be a Barbaric Yorp upgrade. We knew that the entire time. Has to be a Wicked Hack upgrade as well. Now, Desmos, I could totally see a situation in which you take the aim upgrade right now. You could also take the Duelist's Advance upgrade. Let's give you Duelist's Advance. Damien, I really think you need the Endure upgrade. But then Paracelsus doesn't have anything upgraded. I mean, Noxious Blast. The fact that I'm still not great at projecting damage is leading me towards Plague Grenade. Before we go... oh, no, we're not necessarily going to fight the Librarian, of course. I was about to say, before we fight the Librarian, I'd take off Tracking Shot and put on Pistol Shot. Yeah, no, Paracelsus. You need to upgrade the Plague Grenade. Let's have a quick look at our in items. I mean, Burn Resist feels like an absolute compulsory for Dismas. Light Resist, I mean... a lot of our team is already pretty high on that. Probably Boudica, most of all. Or most of all, Boudica probably needs it. Extra crit, lower healing received from skills. I mean, honestly, Plague Doctor. Pretty reasonable carrier of that. I don't see this Dark Impulse, this Stained Trinket being the good setup for this Cultist Trinket. Extra healing given, extra healing received from skills. Ah, it's difficult. It's so difficult because the highwayman ideally is supposed to, point blank shot a target down and then start riposting. So if I want, like, that first turn is where I'm really gonna do damage. I'm doing it. We're doing it. Okay, we're doing it. We did it, and it's done. It's been done. Stop talking to me about it. It's so long ago that I did that. Indelible Trinket for the extra speed on a Plague Doctor who might want to light up targets before they get to move seems appropriate. All right. I think that's our squad.
Conventional fare, but fairly priced.
No stress on any of our targets, so it's not time for pipeweed. I think it is definitely time for a whiskey flask.
Comfort on the road to damnation.
Looking at, again, our relationships. I mean, I should just get people who can, get away from unfriendly to get away from unfriendly. So, like, the Boudica and Damien are now on 9. So maybe they won't have a negative relationship between them. However, everyone else is probably about to. Final check at the Provisioner to make sure there's nothing here that is very useful but not being looked at. I'm going to use a stitching kit on Damien just in case. Get another 2 glimmers of hope. Healing salves? Burn salves are definitely going to come useful. Healing salves seem like those will probably be useful in the upcoming area as well. I'm going to take some Thunderclap grenades too. Oh, maybe I would have preferred the Crow's Feet actually in retrospect. In immediate retrospect. Yeah, we'll pop the burn removal tokens on the Alchemists. And Boudica will hold her own. Alright. Well, about as much as could be done, that prepares us for the sprawl.
Another nameless city. Another inferno of mutilation and madness.
Let's rest for the night and then journey onward. Of course, the sprawl is going to give us plus... Whoa, hang on. Okay. Sorry, before I end, I've been starting to look for this.
Waits, brooding beneath his cowl.
The Bounty Hunter is available for hire. He will accompany you for 1 region. His fee is 4 from the total earned in the expedition. Oh man. I do want to take you though. But I don't know what I do with the Bounty Hunter yet. Do I want to replace Boudica quite quickly? I do have good ideas for what we do with Boudica here, but honestly, I haven't used the Bounty Hunter yet.
The contract is sealed with a silent nod.
Hey, Asal. Oh, good lord, all of these are already upgraded. Interesting. So Asal has Collect Bounty from positions 1 to 3, giant damage to enemy position 1 or 2. Mark for Death, you get to designate a target, ignore the guard and dodge that they have, apply a combo token to them, as well as 2... Oh no. The Bounty Hunter is pyrophobic. They're probably gonna get burned, maybe in the upcoming region a little bit. Who knows? Come hither from any position to the enemy's back 2, sets up a combo on them, pulls them 2, Caltrop from any of the positions except for the front, and it throws Caltrop in order to bleed the target, as well as lower their movement resistance and speed, and then finally a Flashbang for shuffling the enemy, giving them a daze token, stunning them if they are already on combo, as well as blinding them. I'm very keen to play with Ezal, the bounty hunter, who has no chance for any relationship with anyone. Who's kind of useful here, actually, legitimately. However, that's going to have to happen in the next area. The next area, of course, being the next episode. Oh! Which it's time for. My name is Min Rhapsody, the name of the game. Wait, hang on. Sorry, before that, I hit rest sprawl. Yes, and then we see our negative relationships. That's why I didn't think to do it. Envious.
Each covets what the other has, and plots to take it.
Well, each of them, on a skill they don't use often, will give stress to the other. Resentful.
Resentment. The slowest and deadliest poison of them all.
Duelist Advance weakens Paracelsus, which is fine, but unfortunately Battlefield Medicine weakens Dismas, which is not. For the moment, though. There we go. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Darkest Dungeon 2. Top left is a series playlist from all the content in game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendation down below. Streaming past. All those are the names of the people supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. At or above the thank tier. And a special thanks this episode to Sorathil. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.